one of the women, Ro, started telling me a story about how she'd been single for 14 years, and then she has now met this incredible man, and she's in love. She's just turned 39. They've been together for like the last year or so. And she also told me that her mum didn't meet her now husband of 15 years until she was 43.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, we are going to be covering yet another Locke the Bounty Hunter video, guys. So without further ado, let's jump into some of these video clips that Locke has gathered here for us today. As always, guys, don't forget to go and subscribe to his channel. I'm going to leave it linked in the pinned comment as well as the description. And let's just jump right into today's episode.
And you know why? It's because men don't like to be insulted, and that's exactly what you're doing when you disregard their emotions, feelings, and desires of the man that you actually want. In short, you treat men like objects, not like human beings, which kind of makes sense. You lack the basic qualities that make you one of those.
You know that. Of course I do, sir. Everybody knows that. Of course we do, sir!
Alright, so today I have spent the whole entire day organizing. So I organized my bathroom, the kitchen cabinets, I organized a lot. And it doesn't even feel organized to me, but I organized it. And then I put my Valentine's Day decorations out, and they're so cute. I love them. I love them. But you want to hear the funniest thing?
No, and I don't care.
So I literally just got ready to go to, I think, to Walmart. I think that's where I was planning on going. I have no idea where I'm going, but I know I need to go. But I feel like I need to go to Target too.
I'm just going to pause it here, guys, because my brain it's slowly shutting down. Okay, I think I'm having some sort of aneurysm. I don't feel well when I watch some of these clips, and I just think to myself, how does this person function on a day-to-day basis? Like, genuinely, how do they go about their day and actually make it to the end unscathed? It amazes me. They must have like babysitters or something. They must have caretakers, people who look after them. Because how long is this video right here? I think we've been in this, what, like 20, 25 seconds, 30 seconds? Okay, you lose track of times when all you hear is dumb crap, right? You can't get a grip on the time. But this is amazing, okay? And it speaks to how low the bar is for women, okay? I guarantee you there would be plenty of men who would be willing to date this woman, provided she's not like a single mother or divorced. Even then, men would still go out there and here and date her, excuse me. And her head is just full of air. Straight up, just full of air.
And I can't remember what the I needed.
You have had the frontal lobe of your brain removed and replaced with bubble wrap.
You know, the more I watch videos like these, the more I have to wonder, do these broads legitimately think that posting these meandering videos on TikTok actually contributes something to humanity? Now, if this broad was some type of an intergalactic space dignitary from some faraway planet that no one's ever been to before, I could imagine that could be somewhat useful, maybe. Now, you just took a solid 45 seconds to tell people that you forgot the reason why you had to go to the store and thought that was funny. And the sad part is that there is some simp out there who's watching your video and is laughing uncontrollably because he legitimately thinks it's the funniest thing imaginable. And this is the kind of content that really does take the fun out of Armageddon.
Okay, God, let me have it!
I want to talk about being single and wanting to be loved. I'm currently on a trip on my own in Costa Rica, and something really amazing happened to me today. I'm coming towards the end of my trip and I'm getting a little bit in my feels, and I made a video, it's a couple of videos back, talking about rejection and the fact that I started this year experiencing lots of different rejections, both personally and professionally.
Okay, let me just pause it right there, guys. Any woman who you don't even need to get on the internet to say this. Any woman who starts talking to you about how many times she has been rejected on a relationship level is not relationship material, because what she's essentially telling you here is, I have been out there, I have traveled, I have had my experiences, right? And not one single man, not a single man who I have went and had these experiences with has wanted to commit to me on any level whatsoever outside of physical fun. And that should tell you a lot, right? Because when these women get to 45, when they get to 50, and all of the looks fade and it can no longer be saved by pounds of makeup, and I know a lot of guys will argue it wasn't saved in the first place, which is probably quite true. When that happens, the only thing that these women have left is personality. And let me tell you, that is not going to get them very far. Okay, so when these videos pop up and they start talking about, oh yeah, you know, I've experienced a lot of rejection. Guys, if a woman says this to you, just run for the hills. Okay, let her continue to experience the rejection and thank me later. But let's continue with the video clip.
Some of those were, of course, in the world of dating, and it just made me think, God, is this ever going to happen for me? Now, I talk a lot about being single and being happy, and I think that no one is perpetually happy. No one is happy 100% of the time. It's just not possible. However, in general, I'm incredibly happy because I just don't want to settle.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
I know the kind of relationship that I want, and so I'm willing to hold out for that relationship.
I think that she should, I don't know about you guys, but I personally think she should just hold out. You know, I think that Prince Charming is around the corner. Maybe give it 1 more year, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe 15. Okay, but he is eventually going to be there, and never you settle, queen. And this is the problem with a lot of these modern women. This is why they end up single. This is why they have no families. This is why they're on all sorts of different medication, because they don't feel so good when they get to a particular age, is because they put this off, okay? A lot of women say, listen, I don't want a long-term relationship. I'm going to wait for my Prince Charming, even though they've already passed him 50 million times over. Okay, I'm going to keep my standards nice and high. I don't like kids. I'm going to have kids later on. I have all the time in the world. And they continue saying these things until all of a sudden they slam headfirst into 40 years of age. And then what happens then? You can no longer have kids. Okay, guys are not going to want to take you as seriously, especially any degree of the man that you want. Okay, if you're to view it as a spectrum, right? You've got the guys that you really, really want, they're completely out. They won't give you any time of day whatsoever. That 26-year-old millionaire, that 28-year-old millionaire guy, that 35-year-old millionaire guy, he's not going to look at you when you're 40. It's just not going to happen. Okay, that guy who's got 200,000 followers on Instagram, he's jacked as hell. He's not going to look your way. He might for a bit of fun, but let me tell you, he's not going to have a relationship with you. And then everything falls apart, and these women wonder why they're so sad, and their life is just miserable. They've got no family. They've got nobody who actually cares about them. They don't have any meaningful relationships, because anyone who tries to give them any semblance of the truth, by virtue of the fact that it's unpleasant, she will just remove them from their life. Okay, and this is what happens with people, guys, who, you know, they surround themselves with people who tell them what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. Okay, I saw a discussion the other day, guys, a little bit of a tangent here, okay, but I saw a discussion the other day about fitness, okay, and I believe Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit was on that particular clip. It was a bunch of, like, fitness dudes in the fitness niche talking about this, and they were talking about personal responsibility for your health. And let me tell you, all of the people who took no responsibility for their health, they will sit there and they will tell you, oh, I have discipline and you have no right to tell me anything. And they surround themselves with people who are all about body positivity, right? Love your body. Okay, it has the same sort of, line of logic here with these women. Never lower your standards. Love yourself, queen. And then what happens? They're childless at 45. They're on 35 different medications. It's the same people that don't take care of their health. Love my body. You know, my body's fine the way it is. They never go to the gym. They never take care of themselves. Some people need a little bit of tough love, but nobody wants to hear the truth. Like, absolutely none of these people. If you tell them the truth about this, they will get so damn mad about it. But let's keep going. My little rant is over here.
However, there are days where I'm just like, oh, I would really like to start that journey now. I would really like to start that journey with somebody. And today was one of those days. I woke up and I was feeling, a little bit kind of like emotional and a little bit like, I don't know if this is ever going to happen. And then all of those kind of old thoughts and patterns come up for me, like, what's wrong with me? Why does no one want me? Boo-hoo. But I recognize now, and I'm very aware, self-aware, that those are just thoughts and they're not actually a reality.
Liar!
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public. So make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway, guys, back to today's episode. Why is it that every person who is completely unaware advertises themselves as self-aware on the internet? Like, I guarantee you guys, there is a very strong correlation between people saying that they're self-aware and being completely the opposite.
I choose not to buy into them because now I have that choice.
You blew it. Capiche?
Hey lady, have you ever taken a second to think that maybe your impossible to explain standards are the reason why you're feeling sorry for yourself? You're forgetting that relationships aren't just about you. You're focusing on what you want and what you desire and what you need. It's all about you. And at no point do you even take into consideration what the guy wants. To you, a man is just a blank canvas, devoid of any personality, emotion, or desires, whose sole purpose of existing is to buy you chocolate whenever you're feeling blue and to cuddle you as you deal with menopause. You have zero interest in providing anything that man wants or needs, which is kind of how relationships work. You could have had a halfway decent guy in your life if you just made better choices and compromised on a few of your mysterious standards, but you can't, because doing so would remind you that you're living in real life and not a romance novel, and that's just something you're not ready to face yet, apparently.
So anyway, I took myself to breakfast because I was like, I need to eat something. I took my journal. I'm like, I'm going to just journal this all out and I'm going to feel so much better. And as I was sitting down to have my breakfast with my journal, my holiday friends that I made on a trip yesterday came down for breakfast and they were leaving this morning. And I was so happy to see them because I thought they'd already left. And I don't know if you believe in coincidences or serendipity or the universe or whatever, but I certainly do. And one of the women, Ro, started telling me a story about how she'd been single for 14 years and then she has now met this incredible man and she's in love. She's just turned 39. They've been together for like the last year or so. And she also told me that her mum didn't meet her now husband of 15 years until she was 43. She did.
Yeah, and I guarantee you these little stories here have made this woman so damn happy because she thinks to herself, well, I made a good decision screwing around with the bad boys until I was 40 years of age. I don't know how old this woman is here. She could be any age, to be honest with you. She's wearing so much makeup, it's hard to tell. I'm going to assume she's somewhere in her 40s, but I'm always so bad at guessing people's ages, man. But she loves to hear these stories, right? Because these stories say to her, your mistakes are totally fine. Right? People don't have the right to judge you. You will come across your man of your dreams in a very soon fashion, right? And she just loves it. She's like, yes, tell me more, right? Tell me more about how much of a good person I am, and I made all of the right decisions. But anyone with common sense understands that this woman has completely made the worst decisions of her life. Okay. I see this trend going around now, guys, where, you know, women everywhere are told that, hey, it doesn't matter what you do in your 20s. Life can be turned around when you're in your 30s. Hell, even your 40s, you'll still find that Prince Charming. And I just have to sit there and shake my head because these women don't understand, or maybe they do. They just refuse to acknowledge it or take any accountability. But they're essentially screwing their entire life up. Okay, and many of these women, when they get to 35, 40, and they're looking to have a family, they can't do it even if they try and freeze their eggs, right? I've seen so many clips now of women spending thousands upon thousands of dollars, and they still can't have a family because they're sitting here trying to freeze eggs when all of their eggs were left back in their 20s. It's hilarious.
Didn't meet the love of her life until she was 43.
Wow! That's amazing!
It is amazing how much a modern woman is willing to accept an unreasonable amount of cope before she's willing to accept a smidgen of truth. Woman, you'd rather accept a pep talk from someone who was hopelessly single for 14 years. Unless it's under very specific circumstances, there is no excuse for living a life like that. You got to live your life on easy mode, and all you had to do was walk up to a guy, strike up a conversation, and you would have a 90% success rate of meeting somebody. But for some reason, most likely caused by Hurricane Chad, you decided not to, and now you seek comfort in the story of a stranger who's most likely going to be single within the next year. But hey, it's your life to screw up, sweetheart, and if you're dead set on that being the outcome, I might be able to muster up some commendation to your dedication, but I really don't want to. You don't deserve that kind of validation.
I'm of the belief that we definitely have more than one love of our life or one soulmate. I think there are many, many people, and I think for the different versions of us that we are, there are many different junctions that we can take. But when I heard her tell this story, it just filled my heart with so much joy. And
Yeah, of course it filled your heart with so much joy, because that's exactly what you wanted to hear, right? You want this confirmation bias that you can turn around and find your Prince Charming millionaire Chad while you're in your 40s. And let me just say, the odds of that are incredibly low. And even if you do happen to find a guy who's wealthy, the odds that you'll respect him and actually be attracted to him are incredibly low. You will go out there, you will cheat on him, and then eventually when the time comes and you've stacked up enough years under your belt, or enough time, as it were, you will probably try and run and take half of his crap, if not all of it, and any kids you are able to have. Although, judging by this woman, I don't think she is able to have kids anymore. But guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments, okay? Do you think that these women are going to fare well in dating? Do you think that they are delusional? Let us know below in the comments. Don't forget to go and subscribe to Lock the Bounty Hunter. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.